If you've built SAP workflows the classic way, the routing logic, the approval steps, the rules, I've got news that's part bad, part exciting. The way you built workflow is being replaced, not tweaked, replaced. But what's replacing it is genuinely more powerful, and there's a migration wave coming that's going to keep a lot of people employed. Here's the honest map of where SAP workflow is actually going. Quick history, because the path tells you the destination. You started with classic SAP business workflow, the old builder, deep in the system. Then S/4HANA brought flexible workflow, embedded, more configurable. And on the BTP side, the cloud story went from workflow management to what's now the strategic destination. SAP Build Process Automation, SBPA. That's where SAP is pointing everyone. But here's the catch you need to know before you plan anything. Your old workflow models do not automatically convert into the new platform. SAP's direction is rebuild them in SAP Build Process Automation. There are some limited migration paths for things like business rules, but the workflows themselves, you're rebuilding. And that's the first big truth about the future of SAP workflow. For a huge installed base, the near-term future is a rebuild wave, legacy workflow that has to be re-implemented on the new platform. Unglamorous, but it's real, it's paid, and it's happening now. Okay, so what does the new platform actually change? 3 shifts. Here's the first. Workflow is going low-code. SAP Build Process Automation is drag and drop. Process Builder, Visual Business Rules, pre-built connectors. And that's deliberate. SAP wants to pull workflow authorship partly out of developers' hands and toward functional consultants and business analysts. If you're a classic ABAP workflow developer, read that carefully. The routine code the routing work moves to a low-code tool that a business analyst can operate. Your value shifts up the stack, from building the flow to designing it. Process architecture, the exceptions the low-code tool can't handle, the integrations, the governance. Same story as everywhere else in SAP right now. This also lines up with Clean Core. Workflows become governed extensions on BTP, not custom logic welded into the core. Second shift, and this is the actual headline. This is the future. Workflow is moving from deterministic to agentic. Think about what a classic workflow is, a flowchart you drew by hand. If amount over 10 grand, route to this approver. Every branch pre-decided by you. The agentic model is different. AI agents interpret intent, read context, make decisions, and trigger actions, while humans supervise instead of hand-drawing every branch. SAP's framing is Joule as the orchestrator, coordinating specialized agents, with humans staying in control by setting the objectives. The direction everyone's describing is workflow that's intelligent, predictive, and autonomous. Instead of executing a static flowchart, the system understands, decides, and acts. Concretely, AI predicts a supplier delay, and the process proactively kicks off alternate sourcing. Machine learning flags an invoice that's going to go overdue, and the workflow launches the reminders and adjusts the credit limit before a human touched it. That's the leap, from routing work to reasoning about work. Third shift, and there's one move from SAP that tells you everything about their intentions. In May 2026, opening day of Sapphire, SAP made a strategic investment in the workflow automation platform N8N at a $5.2 billion valuation, and they're folding it into Joule Studio for agentic orchestration with general availability targeted for Q3 2026. Why does that matter? Because N8N is a flexible, developer-friendly, open-source, rooted automation engine that reaches way beyond SAP's own walls. SAP didn't just extend their in-house tool, they bought into a broader orchestration platform. The message, the future of SAP workflow is not SAP internal. It spans SAP and non-SAP systems. You can already see it in recent SBPA updates. Proper API error handling with retries and backoff, a Bamboo HR connector, native Outlook integration. That's cross-system automation with real resilience baked in. Workflow is becoming the connective tissue across your whole landscape, not just inside SAP. So if you do SAP workflow for a living, here's the practical read. The durable skill shifts from building workflows to designing and governing them. Process architecture, deciding where an agent gets to act on its own versus where a human has to approve, handling exceptions, wiring up the integrations, and keeping the whole thing auditable. That last one is huge. And it's where I'd plant my flag if I were you. In a regulated environment, finance, government, anything with real controls, the agent decided and acted immediately raises hard questions. Segregation of duties, audit trails. Who's accountable when an autonomous step goes wrong? The technology can route and decide. It cannot own accountability. The person who can pair process automation with the governance and compliance rigor to make autonomous steps defensible, that person is more valuable, not less. That's the role to grow into. And the honest caveat, because I'm not going to sell you the brochure. There's heavy marketing gloss on the autonomous enterprise right now. The reality in most shops for the next couple of years is still human in the loop, with AI assisting, not lights out automation. The stuff that'll actually dominate your day-to-day is the unglamorous work. The migration debt from classic workflow to SBPA, the governance questions, the integration complexity. The agentic vision gets the headlines. The rebuild and the guardrails pay the bills. So, the future of SAP workflow, honestly? Classic workflow is being replaced by a low-code, AI-orchestrated, cross-system platform that's heading toward autonomy, but isn't there yet. Near-term, it's a rebuild wave and a governance challenge. Long-term, it's agents doing the roading while humans own the judgment. And the people who thrive are the ones who move from building the flow to designing and defending it. That's the same thread running through this whole series. The tools eat the routine, and your value moves to the judgment they can't touch. Next up, I'm breaking down the clean core migration itself, the thing sitting underneath all of this. Subscribe, and I'll see you there.